Hello, welcome to the Curator Podcast. This is episode 32. Hi, hello, welcome once again to the Curator Podcast. I'm your host Mark Fraser and this is episode number 32. Thanks for sticking with me, really appreciate it. I recently just announced a show, so if you're in Glasgow, head on over to Facebook or Twitter and you can see some more information about that. I used to put on shows before when I used to run a wee record label. I kind of missed doing it. But also kind of don't miss doing it because it's a lot of hassle and stress. But you know what? It's going to be fun. It's a genre mashup. It's going to be two different bands playing wildly different stuff, and hopefully it'll be fun. So, if you're in the Glasgow region, feel free to pop along to Block on February the 2nd, and we can have a chat. I'll be there, obviously. Anyway, on this episode, I have a lovely chat with a Glasgow singer-songwriter called Chrissy Barnacle. I came across Chrissy's music when she was playing in Block, actually, for one of my friend's gig nights. And yeah, I was really blown away by it. She's got a really great voice and she's just an amazing guitar player as well. I've always got a lot of respect for people that can play really complex guitar parts and sing at the same time, probably because I can't do it myself. So yeah, I love it. I love seeing that live. Anyway, we did this interview in Bigger's music shop and now cafe in Glasgow, and there's some music in the background which I didn't realise was as loud as it is until after I had recorded the podcast and edited it together, which is a bit annoying, but you know what, I don't think it's distracting and it adds a nice ambience to it as well. Sorry for the rambling as well. I just had a whole bunch of caffeine beforehand, so I was kind of just talking a bit of nonsense, but you know what, I guess that's part of the charm, innit? I don't know, you can judge for yourself. Anyway, I had a really great time chatting to her and it was so good to finally get a woman on the podcast. It's taken a long time to get there, I know, and it's really shitty and I apologise, but it was lovely to have a totally different voice on the podcast for a change. It was really good. Anyway, I'm going to open up this interview with a song from her last EP called To Speak. And this is one of my favourite songs by her, actually. I really enjoy it. It's called Night Ride. Chrissy, how you doing?
Yep, alright, not too bad.
This is the second attempt at doing this, which is insane.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Just bad luck.
Yeah.
We are cursed.
We are cursed. Hope we're not cursed today. Hope we can get it over and done with.
Yeah, maybe the curse has been broken.
People are looking at us funny, so I don't know.
We have dark auras.
Oh no! So let's go to the start. We went to the start before, we'll go to the start again.
Start where you mean to begin.
Yeah. So that's very wise. Is that an old Chinese proverb?
I think so.
Did you make that up?
No, I'm pretty sure it's like a thing. Start where you mean to begin. No, maybe it's not. Oh, sometimes I just
You should
invent
put it on a
them.
song, man.
I will.
Where did it all begin? That's what I want to know. Like, where did it start?
Chrissy Barnacle,
Yeah.
where did it start? Good question. I think probably I started playing as Chrissy Barnacle, doing this like stuff back in like 2013. I think I maybe did one gig before that, but I was really nervous. I didn't show anyone my songs, and then sort of just decided one day, along with changing a number of other things in my life, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go to an open mic downstairs from me. I'm just gonna play my songs. If people hate them, then that's fine. And from there, it's just kind of been like a slow process. Just started going to more and more open mics, playing more stuff, and then getting gigs, and then the rest is history.
What was the impetus for just deciding to go out? Like,
I think I'd got to I think maybe I was like 20 at the time, or maybe 19. Then I was like, had a whole vision set out for where I was going to be at 19 and who I was like going to be, and then I was just like, I am nowhere near that person. What the hell? How did this happen? And I guess everyone sort of does that. But I was just like, something must give, I don't know. I guess I'm quite into thinking about my narrative, and so I guess I felt like there was, I guess it's the same thing of like seeing yourself at an age and being like, I thought I'd be somewhere different or someone different, and feeling like possessed with like a fear, but also maybe like an energy, a compulsion that like I have to go and do this, or at least give it a try, because I think that's what I'm maybe supposed to be doing or something.
So it's interesting that, like, I think everybody, like you said, everybody does have that. Like, they see themselves being somewhere, and then they're kind of not there, and they kind of freak out a little bit. They take sort of, it's almost like they try and course correct. But obviously by that point it's probably too late, because like you can't really affect your life that much in that short period of time unless you do something mental like move to Thailand or something. Which my friend actually did, by the way, and it didn't work out well for him. But do you still do that? Do you still kind of like plan, like, do you still have a plan ahead where you see yourself like in 5 years' time?
Well, I don't know if it's so much of a 5-year plan. It's just like a sense of like, I don't know, like there's there's a sense of like where I'm supposed to be going, and like every so often I'll like find myself in a situation and be like, wait, I didn't want this. Why have I got like double of this? Like, I think that does happen with me quite a lot. I think I'm quite inside my own head, and in a way I guess quite I guess it's like maybe an element of egotism or something, where you're like quite concerned with your own self-preservation or something like that. But I mean, that's probably healthy as well, I don't know. But yeah, definitely I'm quite infamous for having drastic lifestyle changes off the back of like an epiphany that I've had after like eating 4 cornettos or something like that.
I can identify with the whole sort of, not so much the drastic lifestyle changes, because I don't really have much of a plan now that I'm 30. I don't really have much of a plan anymore. I know that there's shit I want to do, but I don't care to do it. But the whole inward looking and kind of being in your head so much, like I do that as well. Like that's a really, really big thing for me. And you're actually the first musician I've spoken to that actually also has that. And I would have thought that would be quite like almost a key thing for a musician to have, like this sort of feeling of wanting to leave something. Do you know what I mean? Like leave a mark. Yeah. And I think maybe it is egotistical, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. Do you know what
I mean, we would say that though, wouldn't we? Yeah, I guess it's like one of the things that's always like kind of possessed my mind when I've been like when I was like writing when I was really young, like before I could play any instruments, I would just like write songs and stuff like that, and it was always like kind of trying to like explain out things like to feel like understood, or to as a self-understanding tool. And I think being introspective is really good for that. I guess it's like a total, it's just the way your mind works, but like I'm always completely boggled when people are like, well, yeah, I mean, I don't know, I haven't really thought about this feeling that I'm having, and I'm like, what? I obsess over everything I feel for days, months. Yeah,
I totally get that. Like, I don't understand how people can live their life without that. Like, I think he's probably going to listen to this, but I'm just going to say it anyway, because he knows, he tells me he thinks this. The flatmate and also the drummer in my band, like, he's always like totally baffled by like how I think about things so much, and I'm like, man, like, how can you not?
Yeah.
It's fucking baffling. Like, it's quite scary actually. But that introspection, I guess, that does power a lot of your music. I mean, like, your lyrics are very narratively driven. So I guess maybe the question to ask off the bat, to turn that into a question, I suppose, is there's a lot of brutal honesty in a lot of stuff you write. And is that part of that introspective process of you exploring yourself, or is there more to it, or is it maybe both? Like, is it both character and yourself, or like blurring the lines, or is it all yourself? Or you don't need to be specific about meanings and stuff, because that probably ruin the mystery for people that listen to your music and listen to this podcast, obviously. But it makes me wonder if that's something you think about.
Yeah, I think it is a part of it. Like, I think firstly when I had this big epiphany that I was like not where I was on the wrong course, and I hadn't, that I had the sense that like, like writing songs is something that's important to me, and like blah blah blah. I simultaneously had this crisis of I guess like genuineness. It was something like I was really worried about. Had this big secret relationship that had like gone on for ages, and then I felt like I wasn't like living in the moment, I wasn't existing really, and like the people who I felt like I should be like close to the bone with and everything, I was like, felt like there was like a weird distance between us. And then I kind of, as well as being like, well, I'm gonna just bloody give it a go playing music, I was also like, I'm gonna like live completely honestly and be an open book and have no secrets anymore, and like blah blah blah, and like and in like a 2-week period I like did all these like crazy things and telling people things and coming out to people and like all this sort of bits and bobs. So I think that's like I think I'm possibly like can be honest to a fault sometimes. I don't really have a filter so much, and I think so that's an element of it. But then I think because of the songs are like this kind of a pulling out of the spaghetti mess that's inside of me, and trying to like move it around and analyse like what am I actually feeling. And like I think I've spoken about it with friends of mine who write songs as well, and there's a few of us who see every song as like trying to like perfectly capture an exact moment of time, like, but like as if you were in it and looking 360, so like trying to record like exactly what I was feeling and smelling and seeing, and like almost like in a journal type sense. And sometimes I wrap that up in like a story, like, or whatever, but that like it is an exact replica of everything. And like I like to do egotistical things, like put like little Easter eggs in of like things that actually did happen, or like people's like actual appearances of people who were there, but then like mix it in with other stuff that's like nothing to do really with them, but just something that I've like kind of like I guess like layered on top of it as like a little veneer of something else.
Is that kind of, that is like total, it's almost like a kind of like it's cathartic, but it's also like a total recall of like you say a moment. Is that a painful thing to do, to pull that out and like show it to people? Because that's what you're basically doing. You're kind of like it's like opening up an old wound and like going there, look at oh, this is ugly, look at this.
Yeah, I mean there's some songs that I don't play anymore just because it's like probably like not particularly good for me to like go back and think about that sort of stuff. But then a lot of stuff I really enjoy playing is stuff that's like really like, look at my pain, but it's probably in a way maybe it's like helpful that it's like a performative thing, because then I think there is a difference. I mean for me anyway, when I'm like, oh, I'm so sad about this thing that's happened, and then if you can kind of turn it into a performance, like I guess the Chrissy Barnacle set is quite a performative one. Like I do storytelling, and like sometimes I almost feel like I'm playing this character version of myself, even though it is like an honest portrayal of myself as well. So I think for some stuff, especially if it's like really bitter I got dumped songs, I thoroughly enjoy reopening those wounds on stage. Thoroughly enjoy it.
Well, that whole thing of not playing songs anymore, and the people I've spoken to, that's like almost like a 50-50 split of people, I think, almost, who won't play songs anymore because they're not relevant to who they are, or maybe they don't want to reflect that much because they've done the reflection and like that's it. It's now there for people to listen to if they want to, but it's like it's too painful for me to talk about. And other artists like, oh no, it's important to revisit that because, you know, why wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But I totally get that. Like, I guess my own writing is like, one of the best things I was ever told is that you should write your stuff that scares you. You know, and I like the kind of music you play, the kind of folky stuff you play seems to lend itself like more, I want to say honestly, but I don't even know if that's the right thing to say, but a lot more openly to that idea. Yeah,
I guess you can't really hide the words so easily.
Yeah.
It's like an obvious one.
But I guess playing solo is, you can't hide behind anything. You've got to be well, either flawless or embrace the mistakes you know are going to happen.
Yeah.
And it surprises me I've never asked this before, because now that I'm thinking about it I probably should have asked, because I've spoken to quite a lot of like solo artists, you know. Is that aspect something that scares you when you do it, or is it just like, fuck it, whatever happens when I'm on stage? Or
I think so, yeah. Like exactly what you said, it's like an acceptance thing, and like I fuck up so much on the stage, and yeah, you just have to. I mean, I think people probably they don't enjoy it. Obviously, they'd rather you probably played every song well, but I think there's an appreciation that you are just one person who has also got a life, and like, you know, shit happens.
People expecting you to play this song like it's on the record, or I think they're idiots anyway, because like, just go listen to the CD then, do you know what I mean? Like, if you come and see a live band, you want to see them be human. I
mean, I always think it's quite funny, something like it happens like maybe not super often, but I'd say like at least 2 or 3 times a year I'll have played a show or whatever, and then like come off stage and like I'll like be like thanking like, you know, the sound person or whatever, or like whatever, and they'll be like, oh, blah blah blah, you know, that was good, and I'll be like, oh well, you know, I messed up this thing or this bit or whatever, and they'll kind of say, oh well, you know, your music really lends itself to like, you know, because it's so raw, like the mistakes just sound good, and I'm never sure how to take that, but I think you just need to take it on the chin.
That seems always offensive to me.
Well, no, I mean, I think it's done with very very much kindness, but I just think I always think it's funny that the rawness somehow, I don't know.
It makes mistakes okay.
Yeah, but I kind of like the idea.
Fair enough.
If it is meant to be like a messy journal, then let it be a messy journal.
And I guess you're obviously like the idea of happy with like having that dialogue on stage, because I guess that's what you're doing with your music and someone else. It's like the crowd, you have a dialogue with them.
Yeah.
And you're asking them to accept your music for what it is.
Yeah.
And I obviously I'm talking to you because I like it. I want to talk to artists that I like. I don't know if I've said this in the podcast before, but every single person asks me about it, they always go, I don't talk to X, Y and Z. It's like, well, I'm not familiar with their music, so I'm going to talk to people that I like. And I'm always blown away as well by like the really delicate nature of your playing, which is, maybe I don't listen to enough folk music, maybe that's it. Maybe like, it's probably is it, to be honest. The kind of music I listen to is more like Chuck Reagan, you know, but it's definitely like almost like a Bjorky feel.
Oh, cool.
Does that make sense to you?
Maybe I don't listen to enough Baroque music.
Oh, like Bjork.
Oh,
sorry.
Bjork.
Yeah. Not Baroque. I don't have to Baroque.
Yeah, perhaps. Like, Bjork definitely has like a vision and an idea, and like it's quite narrative-y. Usually people say Joanna Newsom to me. I don't know if you know her stuff.
I'm not, but I know she is, but I'm not hugely familiar with her oeuvre, I must say. That probably shows up a massive lack of understanding on my part then, but fuck it man, I'm human as well.
Yeah.
Accept my flaws.
Yeah. Your flaws are brilliant.
So, being solo and just doing that thing, like you said, that was just like a massive sort of change, but you're also in bands when you play with other people as well.
Yeah.
So presumably the dynamic is hugely different.
Yeah. I mean, I've only really started playing in bands like for the first 2 years or so that I was playing music as an adult. It was always just solo. I never really played with anyone else. So then it was almost quite like a gear change going and starting to play with bands. And the first band that I started playing with was just me and another girl who are both solo songwriters, so that was like kind of a nice transitional stage. And now I play in like another band as well, and we're all sort of come from different musical backgrounds, but I don't know if it's because I'm just like a bossy person, or if it's because I'm so used to being solo and just being able to be like, well, now I have time to deal with this thing, so now I'm going to book these train tickets, or message back this promoter, or like whatever. I find that I'm now being like, I'm maybe inadvertently sort of taking the managerial position. That's the only odd thing that I've noticed going from solo to band.
Are you enjoying the sort of creative process of having other people chip into the musical ideas and stuff? Sometimes,
yeah. I think, again, I don't know if it's because of just me being a bossy person or just being solo. Sometimes, sometimes I'm like, wow, this is like amazing. Like I could never have come up with something that's like funny on my own. Like especially like the band that I play in with the other singer-songwriters called Joyce Delaney, and a lot of the stuff we write just comes like straight. She's also a very honest, the other girl who writes in it. She's also a very honest person and is really interested in trying to record these portraits of her life and stuff. And so quite often we'll have an idea about different experiences and then come together and make something that's, I think, really funny or really interesting. But then I can also find it quite difficult if like in a band somebody is like, oh, how about this bit? And I'm like, I don't think that bit's right yet. And they'll be like, what about this? And I'm like, maybe try again. I find it hard to sort of just let go. But then at the same time, when I think about it, if I'm writing for other people in bands or if I'm just like kind of featuring or whatever on their stuff, like you want them to give you honest feedback and say that's not quite what I want and maybe try something else. So I think maybe I don't need to feel too bad about that.
I don't think that's anything you should ever feel bad about, because the way that I've always approached it is like if other people are not like reciprocal of your critique, whether they like it or not, then they're probably not someone you want to spend a great deal of time with anyway, because we're all adults, you know what I mean, and all our ideas are not awesome, sadly. They wish they were all awesome, but they're totally not.
Exactly, you have to work to better it.
Yeah.
Because I guess that's, if you write by yourself, then you're constantly just doing that to yourself, like, oh, that little bit's not quite right, I'll go back to another day or whatever. So yeah, I guess it's not, so I'm probably worrying about nothing. That's put my mind at ease.
I've never thought about that either, about asking like a singer-songwriter. It's like the self-editorial process, is that a difficult one?
Probably not. Like, I think things just tend to fall by the wayside if they're not very good. So I mean, I am a really, really slow songwriter. It can take me like, probably like a 6-month average to get a song done.
I'm so glad you said that. I feel so much better.
Oh yeah, but then in a way that's interesting in itself, because then you start to gain a different historical perspective on the situation you were trying to portray originally, and sometimes you can get better material out of doing it that way, I guess.
Distance,
yeah, or just like, oh wait, what? That was what was happening. But yeah, I think it's not difficult. It just feels really quite natural. Like the way I like write songs is just playing them over and over again, and then just trying to stretch it a little bit more every time I play it, and then being like, that's not quite right, and then I just forget about it, or play it, and then I'll make up a bit, and I'll be like, oh wait, that does sound good. So then I think maybe my songs are quite sectional, so that's probably why they come out that way, just because it's just a constant repetition and adding a little bit.
I spoke to Billy Lyer about this as well, and it seems pertinent to also ask you. Your lyrics are quite... No, I can't think of the words. My mind's just went totally blank. Why can't I think of that word? I'm getting old, man. Literary in nature. Does literature play a big part in your kind of writing style when it comes to lyrics and stuff?
Weirdly, no. I don't really read at all, apart from just like news articles people put on Facebook. I don't know. I just write. I like interesting sounding words, and quite often I'll like write something and I'll be like, I want to use this word that I have in my head, and I'll Google and it actually means something completely different from what I thought it meant, and then I have to just think of a new word that will fit in its place instead. No, I'm not. I wish I did read more.
Because it's also because of the sort of storytelling nature. That's kind of why I was wondering. But I guess people see themselves as being storytellers anyway, like Bruce Springsteen and stuff like that. Don't necessarily need to be a big reader to be able to tell a story. So. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I'm really into the idea of stories and kind of having arcs and stuff like that. Like I think most of the time for me to write, I need to already know what's going to happen at the end, like J.K. Rowling famously said. Like most of the songs, like the only way that I can finish them is I kind of like map out what's going to happen in every verse. So in that sense, I guess they are quite like book-like. It's quite methodical in its approach as well, and as someone that comes from a punk background, it's usually like, because I do a lot of writing, it's kind of a sense of like I have to do one thing or the other, I can't do both. so when I do the lyrics, I'm never as good as they could be if I was writing a story.
Right.
But because that kind of lines itself to me to say obviously what I play though. Anyway, I hate talking about myself, so we'll move on. To go back to the Joanna Newsom thing, who are some of the songwriters that you look up to? I love asking this question. It's not even an influences question, it's kind of more like who do you like?
Yeah.
Who makes you want to do it?
Well, Joanna Newsom is like an amazing songwriter, definitely. Her lyrics are like phenomenal. Anais Mitchell is also like one of like the songwriters that I admire the most. I started listening to her kind of just before / during the period where I was like, I should really be doing this and not just like messing around and not showing anyone these things that I'm trying to write. Sufjan Stevens as well. Final Fantasy, who's like also releases stuff under Owen Palette. I think is one of like has possibly one of the greatest musical minds around right now. Yeah, those are probably like my top 4. But yeah, they're all phenomenal performers and amazing songwriters. Yeah.
So I've not heard of most of them, so I'll need to be doing my research when I get home. So, wow, I've kind of covered a lot of what I was going to say.
I'm a big talker.
That's good. I like talkers because I hate talking about myself, so that's good. So the most obvious question that's sitting right there. The whole DIY ethos, was that born out of nature of just having to do stuff yourself, or is it something you've always been attracted to?
Yeah, I guess it's like a bit of both. Like, it's always like something I've been interested in. Like, I listened to like punk and stuff when I was like growing up and stuff, and I was always like really interested in kind of political, like social political stuff, and so I was like aware of DIY culture when I was like before I ever really did music. But then I think at the start, like I just didn't have any idea what I was doing really. So like the couple, like the 2 or 3 of the recordings I got online just got done because a friend like offered to do them for me. I just kind of got lucky and like met some nice folks who then offered to put me on in England, and then from that show I kind of ended up, and then from playing shows in Glasgow and just sort of like making friends with people, like I kind of fell into the DIY like quote unquote scene or whatever. But like definitely I've never really been particularly interested in well, I mean, I don't really know what the alternative is. I guess it's proof that I still basically have no idea what I'm doing, and so that's why I just do everything myself. And like like CDs is like a classic example. Like today when I was in work, I used the printer to print off some more CD covers because I just don't actually know how to pay someone else to make CDs for me, so I still burn every CD on my laptop. That. Well, no, that's not the only reason I don't do it, but that's just like kind of
much cheaper.
A good point to do it at home.
Yeah.
Well, probably for the numbers that I use and sell, definitely, probably. I mean, but then again, I don't know.
So the whole DIY scene, I guess, that you have, like as you just said, kind of fallen into. It makes you wonder, like, always the alternative is to be like, take push and try and be part of something else.
Yeah.
Which you're actually the first girl I've spoken to in this podcast. It's been really weird to try and get people to come on, but like the alternative to not being in DIY seems to be going into another place which is a lot more misogynistic than where kind of being in DIY scene is not a lot more accepting and just not full of dicks, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that something that you think about as a female musician?
I guess it's like I wonder sometimes if it's different because obviously I play folk music, so we have like there's always been like a strong like female presence. Absolutely, and famous female songwriters in a way that maybe there's been less widely appreciated or widely credited females in kind of like punk and stuff like that, though obviously there's been loads of them, but it's just more in the sense of the public's perception of that or whatever. But yeah, I think I've been quite lucky. I don't really, apart from like the odd stuff that's like that everyone kind of talks about, like the microaggressions of like, oh, you know how to plug your guitar in or like whatever, that sort of stuff. Like I don't, from my experience anyway, there's not been so much direct aggression or whatever towards me as a woman in playing in like, you know, the kind of like, you know, normal folk scene compared to like the DIY scene. But like I think it's important for me to play in a place that is like, or to play in the scene and be part of a scene that's like politically aware and trying to better itself. Like, because obviously, I mean, I'm probably quite in a privileged position of like, you know, walking through the world. I'm not the person who's going to be attacked for certain things or whatever. But I think, yeah, that's why the DIY punk scene is like important to me, I think, to be part of, just because I want to be part of a scene that's like actively talking about problems that we have in it, rather than just being like, well, I'm fine, so I don't think there's any problems.
Like, sort of almost like, yeah, I know what you mean. It's staggering as well to think that those kind of microaggressions do happen. You know, like, I've never seen it happen, and like personally, when I've been playing with our scene with the female bands, you know what I mean. But by the same token, I'm not entirely surprised by just how much bullshit is going on out there. And you're right, it's good to be part of a scene where it does actively address it and try to like talk about it and have a discourse about it. You don't really get anywhere else, especially after all the stuff that happened today. I don't know if you've seen about the Amber from the Dirty Projectors. And basically there's a really famous PR guy in America, and for years and years, like, he'd just been a total misogynistic asshole to women, including like people like well, he represented people like Speedy Ortiz and all that, and another band whose name I once again can't remember, really famous. Anyways, it's just come out today, and he's like now quit his like PR company and stuff like that. Like he was one of the guys that run it and stuff, and just even seeing that, it's just like, man, I thought we were better than this, but in another sense I'm kind of like, well, it's happened, let's talk about it, let's not shy away from it.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, which we need to do, because I was talking to you and from Moms about this as well. It's like, it's always weird for guys to talk about this kind of thing, because it's like, you know, it's not really our place. Yeah. You know?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's odd. It's kind of odd. But yeah, anyway, I'm rambling now, which is awful. I'm going to wrap it up now. Is there anything else you want to say, or anything you'd like to ask me before we finish?
No, I don't think so. Thanks for having me. I hope I haven't been too long-winded.
No, you've been great. Like, everybody says that. I don't know why they worry. Like, everybody loves talking about what they love doing. People should worry about it, man. You're great. Don't worry about it, man. It's cool. Yeah, thank you very much for talking to me. I appreciate it.
Oh, thanks very much.
Yeah, so the music wasn't that distracting, was it? I thought it gave it a nice sort of ethereal background quality, even when they were playing something a bit heavier. But I enjoyed it. We did get a lot of funny looks just sitting in the corner talking, especially given how empty the cafe was. Like, by the end, we were the only people left in there. I'm not sure if they were waiting for us to leave, because they started cashing up and stuff, but they didn't ask us to leave, so I don't know. Anyway, it was really great to sit down and chat with Chrissy. She's playing a whole bunch of shows. She's always playing shows. She's always doing something. So if you ever get a chance to catch her, I definitely recommend it. I really enjoy her music. I hope you really enjoy it as well. So yeah, thank you very much for listening. Please drop me a rating and review on iTunes if you can. Really appreciate that. Always appreciate that. I just like hearing from you guys and knowing that I'm doing something alright. The last couple of episodes have actually done really, really well, and hopefully that will continue in the future. I think the wee break seems to have done something for my listening figures. So, inexplicable, yes, but I'm not going to complain about it. Anyway, I'm going to play you out now with another song from Chrissy. This song is from her Hazelnuts EP, and another song that I really, really like. The song itself is called Hazelnuts. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much for listening. Until next time, bye-bye.
this heart of mine. And though they'll say I'm still young, I can feel this echoing for a lifetime. Come on, you're a doctor. Tell me what is wrong with this heart. You've traveled